Hi guys! Today I want to talk to you about negative comments. Negative comments in real life, but especially negative comments online. Now, because I put, content and make videos and write and put them all up on the internet, I get a lot of comments. Yay! And they're always amazing to read. And then sometimes I get some not so amazing comments. It's almost unavoidable that you'll get negative comments. And this is not just in particular to the internet. We get negative comments at work. We get negative comments from our family, even from our partner sometimes, from strangers, acquaintances. And it can really affect us if we don't really know how to deal with these negative comments. So today I've decided that I'm going to make a video on the 3 ways that I deal with negative comments that is the best for my happiness. And I hope that it benefits you too. So the first way I deal with negative comments is to examine if there is any truth to that comment. If someone calls me a dog, then I'll look behind and check to see if I have a tail. No tail, not a dog lor. If someone calls me stupid or ignorant, I want to first examine if there is any truth in that comment in relation to the situation or maybe the video or the post that I made. Because I may have made an insensitive remark without even realizing it. Have I said something that have hurt somebody? And if that is the case, then I'll apologize and learn from that experience. But if after I examine it and I think that, there's no truth to this, I think this person is just voicing their opinion, or they're just unleashing their unhappiness onto me, whichever the case, there's no truth in that comment. So why be bothered about something that has zero truth in it? My mom has always brought me up to reflect rather than to be defensive. And I think that it is our human nature to feel the sting and then immediately defend ourselves. And I have to really train myself to understand my reactions and understand where the source of defensiveness comes from. Because if I'm always defensive and my first reaction is to protect myself and defend myself, then I'll have a difficulty differentiating between constructive and helpful feedback and mean and nasty and negative comments that I really should pay no attention to, but comments in this category that are helpful and constructive. And it may be hard to hear, but these comments are necessary for my growth. So with negative comments, when I examine if there is any truth to it, then I can learn from it if there's even a smidgen of sense or some sort of truth to it. And if there's no truth to it, then I can really let it go and not let it bother me. How do I not let it bother me? Well, this leads me to the second way I deal with negative comments, and that is to not take things personally. Not taking things personally is day 27 of my 30-day happiness program. It's one of my favorite practices in life. I don't want to force myself to not take things personally. I want to genuinely be able to not take things personally. I think that offense can be given, but it doesn't have to be taken. People can say all sorts of things all the time, and a lot of the times people don't even realize that they are being offensive. So it's not even personal. What they're saying feels personal, but it's not even personal. So why take it personally? And then there are people who purposely say certain things with the intention to offend, with the intention to insult. They say harsh, critical things. And in this case, they are definitely trying to offend me. But it is my prerogative as to whether I choose to receive their offense. I can choose whether or not I want to take offense. In very visual terms, let's imagine that someone wants to give you a box filled with shit. It's cow dung and it's smelly, and they're like, here, take this box of shit. Why? Why would I want to take their box of shit? So every time we get easily offended, easily upset, easily angry over someone's negative comments, we are volunteering to take the box of shit. Nobody can offend us if we choose not to be offended. Sometimes we feel like being offended is the best way to stand up for ourselves. But feeling offended is an emotion. It is not an action. I always say that we must stand up for ourselves, but not in just an emotional way where we are just hurting ourselves when we are upset. We must take action. So, for example, if somebody is causing a lot of ruckus on my page or being intentionally mean, what I'll do is I'll delete them and ban them. And that's taking action. But inside, I don't have to feel offended, insulted, angry, upset, judgmental of this person because it's only gonna make me unhappy. But of course, I am human and negative comments are not pleasant at all. So I have to train myself to be really honest with myself as to whether or not I am triggered by that negative comment. Because it is only when I am 100% honest with myself and I acknowledge my feelings that I can let go of them. I don't want to just pretend that I'm over it and it doesn't bother me, but inside I am triggered. Which leads me to my third way of dealing with negative comments, which is to use them as an awesome opportunity to learn something about myself. It is when I do get triggered that things start to get fun, because it is only when I am triggered that I start to discover things about myself that I otherwise wouldn't even have realized, because I wouldn't have had the need to reflect or to examine or to go any deeper to understand myself better. For example, I used to get comments about the way I speak and my English, and every time someone would say something about my accent or my English, I would feel this trigger. I would get really defensive inside. So whether or not I actually reply to the comment or whether or not I say anything, inside I would feel upset. I would maybe even judge the person for saying such things. It was hard for me not to take it personally. Logically, I know that, I shouldn't be bothered. And I know logically that I shouldn't even worry about what people think. I know that everybody has their own opinions. Like, technically, I knew all that. And I was very confident in a sense, right? Like, I worked in entertainment. I was hosting and doing radio shows for like 15 years. I had confidence in the way I present and in the way I speak. Now, however, if I am truly so comfortable with myself, then why is it that I would have all these emotions and these triggers that would surface every time I read someone making a comment about the way I speak? And then I realized that I have always sort of been maybe a little bit ashamed of how maybe my English is not good enough. I don't pronounce my words like certain hosts with like a British or American accent. And I think that I judge myself, but I never really delved too deep into it because, like I said, on the surface, I was confident and it's not fake. I genuinely feel like I can do a good job hosting on stage or TV or radio. I believe in my own worth. But when I really had to examine why I was triggered and where those triggers come from, I started to look at my needs and my fears, and I realized that, my goodness, Xandria, I think you have a need for people to respect you, and maybe you have a fear of people thinking you're not good enough. And I think that you judge yourself and you compare yourself to other people, and that's why all these comments would bother you so much. And understanding myself in this way was amazing because it really helped me practice self-acceptance and what it means to truly value myself and to truly be okay with the person I am and to even love myself for it. I sound like a Malaysian Chinese because I am a Malaysian Chinese. I think that as long as you can understand me, it doesn't really matter what accent I speak in. And honestly, if I weren't so triggered, if I didn't go down the journey of like really understanding why I felt this way, I would always just feel defensive. Then I will always try to like block it out or brush it away. Like, I don't want to be bothered by what people think. It doesn't matter what people think anyway. I would be behaving more down that direction instead of like the other direction of really examining my fears and my needs and my insecurities, right? And really identifying what actually is the root cause of my reactions. And that led me to being able to accept myself better. And that to me is a wonderful gift to myself. Accepting ourselves sounds like such a simple and logical thing to come to the conclusion to. But when you are sensitive and insecure about something, nothing is simple. And it takes a lot of examination as to how to let go of them, which is why negative comments, when you receive them, say a big thank you, because it highlights what you need to work on. It highlights your triggers. If you feel triggered by a negative comment, say thank you to the person who made it. Well, you don't have to actually say thank you, but inside you can be like, yay! Awesome. You are helping me identify my triggers so that I know which aspects of myself that I need to focus on. So to recap all of that, the 3 ways that I deal with negative comments in a way that best serves my happiness is number 1, examine if there's any truth to the negative comment. If there's any truth to it, then learn from it. If there's no truth to it, then why let something that is not true bother you? Number 2, I remind myself to not take things personally. An offense can be given, but it doesn't have to be taken. Don't take that box of shit. And number 3, use negative comments as a way to identify my triggers so that I can understand myself better. So then I know what to let go of and be happy. I hope this video has been helpful somewhat if you are going through experiences where you are surrounded by negativity or there are people around you who are negative. And if you feel like you want to develop the skills to be able to identify your triggers and to be able to practice the tools to never again be affected by negativity and always be able to solve problems in a way that contributes to your happiness, I have opened up one-on-one coaching where I can take you all through that so that you can understand yourself better, understand your own needs and fears better, so that you can communicate better, so that overall that you'll always be this positive and happy person regardless of the negativity around you. If you think one-on-one coaching can help you create the kind of changes you want, my email address is in the description box below. You can email me to apply. So thank you so much for watching. Till next time, you know what I'm gonna say, be happy always. Bye-bye.